Welcome back. The holidays are for parties and seasonal spreads of all kinds of treats. No doubt your pet thinks it's time for extra treats from the table too. Overeating is a problem for our furry friends, and we as owners have control over it. Dr. Kelley Gebhardt with Happy Tales Emergency Animal Clinic is with us to talk all about it. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So lots of folks give their pets table scraps and the pets love it, but put in context for us what those table scraps mean for a cat or dog.
Right, so it's all about portion control, and even a small bit of cheese for a 20-pound dog, say a 1 ounce block of cheese for a 20-pound dog is like us eating 5 hamburgers, right? So see, yeah, 5 chocolate bars, 2.5 hamburgers. So it's all about portion. If you want to give them a little treat, keep it lean meats, fresh veggies, fresh fruits, and if you do something like cheese, keep the quantity very small, because a little bit is a big treat for dogs and cats.
Okay, and we as humans talk about portion control. So what is the rule of thumb for pets in portion control?
So a little bit's good. Keeping human food less than 10% of their diet is really the way to go when you think about it. So just a little snack is good. When they're thinking, I'm getting a snack, they don't need a whole piece of turkey. They can just get a little morsel, and they're just as happy as if they get a giant piece. So just the act of receiving it is what is good for them and what gives their spirit happy.
Okay, so that's a good point. And no one wants to bring their pet to the emergency vet, but it does happen. So what are some of the top emergencies that you all see?
During the holidays, the number one is vomiting and diarrhea from dietary indiscretion, eating inappropriate items, getting into the trash, getting all the fatty, greasy holiday foods. Foreign bodies from getting into the trash or eating inappropriate toys, eating the ribbon, chewing up toys that they're not supposed to. So vomiting, diarrhea, foreign bodies, toxins from getting things they're not supposed to, like chocolate or plants that are potentially toxic, moldy food from moldy trash, and trauma. That's the other big one we see from pets getting out of the door and unfortunately getting hit by a car and other things. So trauma is a big one.
Trauma, wow,
Yeah.
Okay. And so often when we are cooking, we have the scraps left over, like the chicken bone or whatever. It's natural, but is it safe though?
Chicken bones, so bones in general, I say, don't give your dog a bone, because so many bad things can happen. They can break the teeth, they can lacerate the mouth, get stuck in the throat or the intestinal tract and cause foreign bodies, intestinal lacerations. So in general, bones, although they may seem like something natural that dogs would chew on, it's really too high in risk. So I say don't give your dog a bone.
Yeah, whenever I think of those bones, I always think of them getting it stuck like in their throat. It's just,
Yeah.
And so this is the time of year we have people come visit, sometimes overnight, sometimes just for a party as well too. How can we make it a good experience for the pet and then your guest as well too?
Oh, such a good question, because it's such a time of hubbub and big energy, the doors opening and closing frequently. So a couple of things that are really important for our pets. One, create a safe place for them, maybe in a bedroom or a crate in a quiet place with some soft music away from all the hubbub, maybe the young kids playing and the people coming in and out. Making sure that if you do have guests coming in and out, keep the pets secured in a different room so that the risk of them getting out is less. Also, make sure that their collar and microchip, make sure your pet's microchipped, make sure they're wearing a collar with up-to-date contact information for you, and make sure your microchip information is up-to-date so that if they do get out the door, you have multiple ways to get your pet reunited with you. If you have guests coming and spending the night, make sure that their purses and bags are off the floor. And if they have medication, make sure to just say, hey, could you please make sure your medication is safely locked away, and you know how many pills you have. In case your purse drops and the pills go all over, you can count your pills. Because we see a lot of pets come in with medication ingestion that have been dropped and scattered under the bed, or even they don't even know that it's been dropped, and then we find out, oh, it's a blood pressure medication and my grandparent was here, So those are the important things.
What about guests with kids, like young children? What kind of conversations can you maybe have with those guests, like before they come in and you have a pet or two?
Oh, such a good question, because the way dogs and cats express I'm uncomfortable is maybe they bite or scratch. So telling those young children to respect the pet's boundaries, only petting after asking. So WASP is a good idea. Wait, ask, sit, pet.
Oh,
so that taught my son this.
One.
Yeah, so you wait for the pet and then you ask. You don't run approach. You just wait for the pet to approach you. You ask the owner, can I pet your dog? You ask the pet to sit, and then you pet. So wait, ask, sit, pet, and you also let them sniff you before you pet. If and just making sure that the kids respect mealtime, let the pets alone, and whatever the rules are in the house, everybody follows the same rules for the pet, and making sure that you communicate it to your guests.
That's so good. And we have about a minute left when it comes to Christmas trees. We've heard of dogs drinking the water out of the bottom. So what is the issue with that?
So it can be moldy. and full of bacteria, and that can make them really sick in the stomach. And sometimes there are preservatives in there that can also make them sick and potentially be toxic depending on what the preservative is. So, but it can definitely cause some bacterial gastroenteritis.
Okay. Anything else that you think we might have missed or that is important to touch on?
I think in general, if you want to make your pet a part of the holidays, keeping the treats, fresh veggies, fresh fruits, avoiding toxic things like grapes and raisins, onions and garlic, taking your pet for an extra walk, and making sure that they're really tired before your guest comes over. A good pet is a tired pet, so take them out for an extra walk or some good ball play before your guests come over, and then they'll be tuckered and quiet in their room that you've created for them to be happy.
And in 10 seconds, tell us WASP one more time. It was interesting.
Yeah, wait, ask, sit, pet.
Wait, ask, sit, pet. I like that. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. A lot of great information. And remember, if you missed anything, you can find it on our website, WFMYnews2.com.